Oh, what's up, everybody? I'm back for a back-to-back night. It is mission accomplished on a Thursday. I got some new shit in my studio today. Check out my Wheaties box there. It's a 1993 Larry Bird autographed Wheaties box, unopened. My kids really wanted to open it and eat whatever the fuck was on the inside, but I told them you don't want to eat no 27-year-old Wheaties. You probably don't even like regular Wheaties, my friends. All right, so I got a really special guest tonight. She will be fighting Super Bowl weekend, welcoming Paige VanZant to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship BKFC. Her name is Britton Hart. What's going on?
Hey, the champ is
Hey, the
here. Soon
champ
to be
is
champ.
soon to be champ. How are you? How's things?
Oh, I'm great. I'm really, really good. So I'm excited. I feel good. Thank God I'm blessed. I have amazing people that are around me. I have you inviting me on the show, hyping it up. So it's a great day. I can't ask for more.
Well, I can't tell you how much of a fan I am of what you guys do. BKFC is one hell of a company, and they are fast rising. Hold on one second. I'm having some crazy shit here for you. Anyways, BKFC is the shit. You've had some absolute wars already in that. You know what I want to ask you? They always call it the squared circle, and I know that came from like pro wrestling, or I don't know, because the ring is square, but it's called a ring, so they used to call it the squared circle. But yours is an
Right.
actual circle, so why the hell are they calling it a squared circle?
It's a circle. It's a circle. But I
Stepping
just
in the
go with
circle.
it.
So how's camp going?
It's going great. It's awesome. I'm working and building on several different things, some top secret things. So top secret's always good.
Yeah.
So I can just say, be excited and something that's great about me as a fighter, and you can see, the proof is in my resume, is that I'm always growing and changing as a fighter. All my fights have been completely, something different, something, a little more exciting or a different look than a previous Britton Hart that you've seen. So this fight is definitely going to be that. So I'm really pumped to see it put together. So it's just going to be building off my last fight. It's going to be even, bigger and more of me in control than I was my previous fight that I won. So I'm excited to just put a clinic on.
Well, I wanted to talk about that, like the different Britton Hart from the Beck Rollins fight to
Mm-hmm.
the Randine fight. The Beck Rollins fight, you were like super hyper. It seemed like you were like bouncing all over the ring and like throwing crazy wild strikes, and like maybe you were just like super too excited to be even in there, and you almost won that fight. Like it could have gone either way. And
Right.
then the difference between that fight and then the Faria fight was like night and day. You were composed. Your guard was tight. Your footwork was great. You were scrapping with her up until the cut, and
Right.
then the Randine fight, you just put on a clinic. It was nice. You can really see the progression in your bare knuckle game for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you. I know sometimes I watch that back fight. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I got robbed. And then sometimes I watch and I'm like, damn, I sucked. But it just depends. But, some people are funny and, they'll be like, you quit your tap dancing. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Beck had like, obviously it's not that I was nervous. I really wasn't nervous. It was just the whole game plan was be on your bike, constantly move. So because I was like really up here thinking in my head, the whole thing I was thinking was move, move, move. So it came out a little bit jittery, which I mean, in the long run, it kind of did confuse her and was a little different of a look. But hey, as we can see, mountains of improvement from then.
and are you with the same team the whole time? You're just changing game plans, or
No, actually, I haven't been. For the Beck Rawlings fight, a lot of people will know that I actually trained myself with a little bit of help from a few people here and there. But I was at a YMCA and really just kind of training myself. My coach that I had, Noe, he would meet me like 3 times a week and hold pads for me like for 45 minutes, which, he works, so nothing against him. He was awesome and a blessing in disguise for me to get. I was so thankful just to have that, to have 3 45-minute sessions a week was like, holy cow, it was so amazing. So then after that fight, a lot of people were like, hey, if you were with a good team, if you were with a great coach, it would have went totally different way for you. So I kind of was like on this wild goose chase, to find where I belong and who I am as a fighter. Do I want to sit and brawl and bang? Do I want to move? Like, really, who am I? And I had a lot of personal things going on too that really messed with that. Like, my kids are so important. I have, I can help people. I can make a difference. I love coaching. I love my job, but really, who am I? Like, at the end of the day, like, what's my purpose? And it was kind of a hard road to go down and discover who I was. And obviously, I'm figuring it out. So, I have had different training coaches and people that I've worked with. So, it's been, both a blessing and a lesson. Some people will teach me some things that I'm like, oh my God, this is like life changing for me and something I can really use. And some things are like, you know, I don't know, it's changing more of my style, but it's great because I feel like I'm the epitome of being adaptive. Like, I can adapt to any fighter. That's why you see me fight anyone. That's why
Yeah.
I'm really truly the only fighter out there who fights anyone, that I go in the ring with anybody. And I feel like I owe it to my, like, the grit and the determination I have, but also from all these amazing, wonderful people I've met in my time that give me different looks to where I can feel confident to face anybody.
That's great, and you could tell that in that last fight, you went into with a girl. Now she was an MMA fighter. I don't think she had any pro MMA, right? She was an amateur MMA fighter, but she wasn't really a boxer. But she had height and length on you, and your game plan. You kept your distance at times, but then you went inside on times. You dirty boxed the shit out of her. You jabbed the shit out of her. She kept stepping into your left check, the check left hook.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, your footwork was on point. You were hitting her with the right cross all night, and like you banged that girl's face up pretty hard, and it was definitely your best performance to date, and you deserve this fight coming up for sure
Thank
after what happened after that fight. So
Thank you. That means honestly, that what means the most to me. Like, I'm
yeah,
not here to be another pretty girl that's fighting, or oh, she just got it because of this, and or because I know. I mean, I really have worked really hard of really giving years of my life up for this opportunity. So I really appreciate that.
no problem. And you want to know what I was going to ask you? Did you watch that fight? You watched your last fight over again, and
Oh
with the
yeah, for sure.
with the commentary? Did you
Yeah.
catch the? It's almost like she wanted to fight you. And then she stepped in the ring after you told her you're next. She stepped in. She kind of took your burn. And then afterwards, she was kind of like not wanting to fight you. But during the commentary, she was like talking about how Randine was like stepping into lazy jabs. And like she was saying how the fight was really close and even hard to judge before you knocked her down. I was like, what is she watching, man? It's not even close. You won all four of those rounds. And
I said that too. Every time I watch it in that little snippet, they'd be like very competitive rounds, and I'm like, what?
yeah.
What? I didn't have like anything. Like, I had a little mark under my cheek and, like, a little bit of a black eye, but really that's it. And that girl was cut, dapped up. I mean, I hit her.
Her
I was
forehead
thinking.
was all bumped up. It was crazy.
Right. Yeah. And even I was what I was really most proud of myself for that fight too was the body, like my ability to show that I can throw body shots. Cause you don't see that a lot. A lot of people like to headhunt. And I've always remember hearing, since you brought up the commentating, it's so cool because it shows like I'm really taking everything that everybody says to heart. And all my commentators would be like, oh, she needs to go to the body, the body, the body. And I'm like, damn it. So I've just been really working on those body shots. And so secretly revealed, but I just have really gained a new respect and knowing that the body shots work, man. They really work.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if that was part of the game plan because she is really tall. Well, she was a couple inches taller than you, but she
Yeah.
also stood way vertical and like leaving the body open. You cut her body down. She dropped down, opened up the head for the jab, and it seemed like you did that perfectly. It was great. Um, Even in your first fight, and not to bring back the Beck one, Antonio Tarver was kind of taking shots at you too. It's like you were getting hated on earlier on, but I think you've gained everybody's respect, and
Right.
I'm hoping to see it carry on. Now, what do you think about Paige as a fighter? Like, do you watch film on her? Because even I'm very familiar with her in her MMA career, but like if you told me to break down her boxing skill,
Right.
I would have a hard time doing that. So, what are you guys seeing?
I mean, she at the end of the day, she's a wrestler, she's a grappler, she's a kicker. You know, her striking is really, I mean, yeah, she can like throw a punch, meaning that she can extend her arm from her face, but there's
Mhm.
so much more that goes into throwing a punch, and I've learned that boxers learn. It's it's about head movement, getting your head off the center line. Some other things like like how your speed, and sometimes I just when I watch her striking like I said, I feel like she does throw it correctly in some aspects, but it's almost like fitnessy. Like, like if you were to teach a really awesome fitness boxer size class, like she would be the instructor, which is great and awesome, but boxer size isn't fighting. So you're not getting punched back in a boxing dance class. So I think that she's a very choreographer, like with her Dancing with the Stars. Like I think she's used to that, like, okay, 1, 2, all right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, okay.
Yeah.
I think that they're very like predictable punches. And I kind of even see that. I'm not saying like in her training, but in her fights, I've seen her. She'll punch, she does throw punches, and then she gets tagged right back, and then she's kind of like, oh shit, and then they go down to the ground, or she'll try to get the kick off.
She also takes damage a lot. Like you just said, she's willing to take damage to give damage, and I don't know if that game plan is the best idea when you're going into a sport that's not wearing gloves. You know what I mean? I don't know. She I hope she knows what she's getting herself into. You know?
Right. And that is something, definitely giving her that credit. She is a tough girl, She really is. She's tough and taking some damage. But again, like you said, sometimes when people think that they're the tougher person, that's not always the best thing. When you go in, I kind of want her to have that, like, oh, I'm tough, I can take this. I thought that too. I'm tough, but once you get cut, I mean, like, look at the Christine fight. If you get cut and the doctor stops it, it doesn't matter. Like I had more enough heart to keep going and to banging out with her. I mean, I have a clip of me and Christine in the clinch, and I was competitive and working off the clinch too. But if you get cut and you're taking damage and you're putting yourself in that position, I mean, anything can happen. So she is tough, but I think again, being able to not have your hands in your defense where they need to be might be a huge issue for her.
Yeah. And for people that aren't familiar with BKFC or haven't been watching, Christine and Beck are probably the two toughest girls out there, other than yourself. Like your two losses are to the two top notch girls. I don't know where Beck's been. What the hell is she doing? She's on some hiatus, right? I don't know.
I don't know. She was with Bellator, but I know that she says she seems like she's pretty happy with Bellator. But I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
I think she lost her last match, and COVID's been pretty crazy, so I don't think she's competed in a while.
How many fights do you see Paige having in the BKFC? One of the people watching wanted to know.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good question. I'm going to win on February 5th, so plan for that. So she's going to lose. A
Yeah,
lot of people are thinking, oh, she, finish her career. I would honestly like to say, as one fighter to another fighter, I hope that she stays in. Like, I'm pulling for her to lose, but I do want her to stay in. And there's other people in BKFC that she can fight and challenge herself with. And I mean, I really just want everybody. I think it would be hypocritical of me to say, hey, I'm going to end her career and make sure she never comes back. If she does do that, it kind of just shows that she didn't have the heart and didn't belong anyways. But I would always hope that someone has, like, don't quit. I wouldn't really want anybody to quit anything. So I hope she does stay around. I think she's a good fighter, and we'll see what other, trouble she can cause for the other females in the division. Um, I would like to see her fight some other people. But
yeah.
as far as, so I see her finishing her contract out. If she doesn't, it really says a lot about her on the inside.
3 fights, right? That's what she's saying.
Right,
Yeah.
3 fights. So
Now, do you see her? How do you see her approaching you? Do you see her going straight into deep waters and trying to bang with you, or do you think she's going to be a little cautious in there, maybe run a little bit? I was
well,
wondering how you think.
I do think both ways, actually. I do think both ways, but I said this last time with Randine, because I thought the same thing for Randine, because she's super tall, right? So ideally, the smart thing would to not be to rush in to use your range, but she was like, of course nobody really likes a pressure fighter because they put it is what it is, it's pressure. But I remember she said, she was like, I'm gonna put pressure, and I was like, oh, I hope you do. So kind of the same thing with Paige. That's how I feel. If she wants to come forward and put pressure on, I hope that you do. I think it's a huge, huge mistake. So if she does do that, like, great for me. I'm happy with it. But I do think that she will be more of a cautious. I mean, it's bare knuckle. It's your first time. She's never done it. Her
Right.
last fight was a loss. Excuse me. So her last fight was a loss. So I think, that's all mental warfare that's going on in your head. And I think sometimes to just jump in, she's a seasoned pro. She knows you can't just go in jumping into something. You got to set stuff up. So I believe she'll try to set something up.
Right. Now, what would you rather? Would you rather finish her quick and devastating, or would you rather drag her in the deep waters and show her what it's about for a little bit, and then what would you rather do? You like to put on a show, I know that.
I know. It's just I'm definitely saving my quick and devastating knockout for somebody in bare knuckle, but I really feel like, I want to shock the world and have that world shocker. And I think, with Beck, I let it go to the decision. And that was a mistake on my part. And then I told Paige too, last time when she got in the ring with me, I told her I was only going 50% and saving 100% for her. So I have 100% for her. So it's not going to end well for her. And it's not going to, going 100%, obviously. And bare knuckle doesn't last but too long.
So it sounded like you have an actual name on your radar who you want to knock out after Paige. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
did I read
Absolutely.
that correct?
Devastatingly, like the worst knockout you've ever seen.
And do
I want
we?
to still, like I said, saving Paige a little bit, like she's good for the promotion, but she's still got to go down. But I'm definitely saving some ugly knockout for someone.
And we're not allowed to know who that is.
Nah, I'm going to say she's fucking next after I beat Paige. Don't
Oh,
worry.
okay, all right. Because that was going to be my next thing. I was going to ask you if you want to rematch with Beck. Do you want to rematch with Christine? You got somebody else in mind that you want to call out? I was going to say maybe you want to invite another, you know, pretty girl from outside BKFC into the ring. You know
I
who?
know, there's a lot of talk, with like, Rachel's, I think,
Yeah.
is coming into BKFC. So I tell everyone again, I don't have to talk the talk. I've already shown that I can walk the walk. I really do fight anyone. I don't handpick my opponents. I don't ask, hey, can I fight so and so? Can I fight? It's really whoever is in front of me that I fight. But I mean, there are a couple of special people on my list that, I do really want to fight. Just devastatingly again knock them the fuck out. But
Nice.
other than that, I mean, I'm ready. Honestly, you know what? I really think, you know, especially here lately, I've been so empowered. I really want to go for the belt. Like, I want the belt. I want the title. I really want to work for that. So obviously, I don't want to get ahead of myself too much. I'm just focused on Paige. But after that, it's not really a person besides this one person. Other than that, it's anybody. So anybody who wants it can come and get it. I'm focused at the opponent on hand. After that, I'll be focused on someone else.
That's awesome. And do you know what the rest of the card looks? I know that I know Lieben's fighting on there, but I haven't seen too much of the fight card yet. Is that released?
I
Oh,
think
I
that
got a bright light on you now.
I know, right? It's getting dark out here, so we're getting ready for our next training class. So we're gonna go back to training again. So we've been at it hard all day, so it's pretty fun. But yeah, no, Johnny Bedford's gonna come back.
Oh,
He's fighting Dat. So that's confirmed. There is another female card. A female fighter. With two female fighters that are going to be on the card on the undercard. So I don't think I'm allowed to say who it is, but I know who it is. So I'm excited for that fight matchup. So Queens supporting Queens. Um,
yeah.
and then
Are
let's
you
see.
main eventing that? You guys are the main.
Yeah, I'm almost, I would be super shocked if I wasn't, but my cover photo, and they just put some photos out today that are fire, man. They're so awesome. So big
Yeah,
shout out to the graphics team for BKFC. But me and Paige are right in the middle, so I would assume that we're main event.
awesome. Well, I don't want to keep you all night because it sounds like you are a super busy person. I do this thing called the speed round, where I ask a bunch of questions and we get to know the fighter a little more. And
Oh,
tonight, I threw it out to some. You have a lot of fans, so I have fan questions for you. And I'm going to throw your Instagram at the bottom. But before I do that, do you have anywhere else that people can follow you other than Britton Hart _
that's my Instagram. I do have a Twitter now, so it's at Team Britton Hart. That's my TikTok too. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's Team
All
Britton
right.
Hart. So yeah, and then my Facebook is my name. So, but I don't really have an athlete page. I like keeping it on Instagram as far as that goes for my athletes. But friends and family, if you're my friends on Facebook, know that I really love you.
Awesome. All right, let's do this. Let's do this speed round. What is your favorite music genre and your favorite group or artist from the genre?
Oh man,
You're,
definitely pop. I'm definitely pop. Like I'm a pop person. But my favorite artist from that is like there's so many really good ones. It's kind of sounds silly, but Celine Dion is like my favorite singer that I can think of, like that comes to my head. But she's not really pop, so
I really thought you were going to be a gangster rap type person. I don't know.
yeah, no.
What is something that you love to do in your spare time that would actually surprise some people?
Um,
You're a crocheter? No.
and yeah, I'm trying to think. Dang, I just do sports and hiking. Oh, I stand up paddleboard.
Oh, really? How old are your kids?
11 and 7. So my
11 and
lucky
7.
lucky numbers.
Yeah, nice. I got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, so they're not too far off. All
Yeah.
right. Well, Mike Hunold wants to know if you prefer gloved or bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle.
Yeah, nice.
Hmm.
What is it about bare knuckle that drew you away from the gloves? I know you had an actual boxing match between your last two, but
Hmm.
you're not
I
completely away.
honestly, it's the people. The people really make it. Being in BKFC, the from the management and not just my management. So big shout out to Smith Brothers,
Yeah.
Combat Sports, by the way. Not just my management team, which is amazing. I love Kevin, but like all of them are
Big
so
shout out to
cool. Like
Kevin.
I love Boss Babes. I love the people. I love like Chris Lytle and Sean Wheelock. Like just the whole family has made it. The ring is the nicest ring. I mean, there's no ring out there that is better than that ring. It is the nicest ring I've ever been in. So there's just the different pieces into it, and nothing is a bigger. If you're a adrenaline junkie, which I definitely am, if you're a adrenaline junkie, like there's no better feeling than fighting bare knuckle. It's the biggest adrenaline rush.
Yeah, and I don't see Shaq hanging out at any of your boxing matches. You know what I mean?
Right, future combat sports.
That's awesome. All right, my wife, Amy Mish, wants to know what movie would you rather watch, Dirty Dancing or Bloodsport? Because she thought Dirty Dancing and I thought Bloodsport.
Dirty Dancing.
All right, all right.
I know my biggest thing, Contenders Clothing is also an amazing sponsor that I have that's been behind me for years. And they always give me stuff that says I'm a lover and a fighter. And I always make, I laugh and joke because I say I'm a lover before I'm a fighter. So like I said, it's a funny thing.
That's great. Logan Weaver, up and coming MMA fighter, wants to know what is your best advice for all the female fighters out there?
Yeah, honestly, it's actually easy to say that. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself because as a female, it gets really easy to get emotional and get in your head and definitely be discouraged because I mean there are a lot of men in the sport, not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know there's other attributes that can be overwhelming, and if you do not believe in yourself, you're just not going to make it. Like you have to be super positive and confident and be able to stand up to anybody and do it for you, not to impress anybody or anything else. So do it for you. And I feel like if you believe in yourself as a female fighter, really for anybody, but as a female fighter, especially if you can believe in yourself, I think that you'll do great things.
That's great. Now I got a extra one I'm going to throw in here because I'm on this other podcast called the Beauvais MMA Roundhouse, and Bob's in the comments here. He says, "Is the difference between bare knuckle is the distance difference in bare knuckle versus boxing hard to make up for?"
Well, you mean punching range?
I guess, yeah. I would think that's what he's going for here.
Yeah, honestly, it's gonna sound so silly, and a lot of people just say I'm really, really crazy. But my first bare knuckle fight, I was kind of nervous, and I remember being hit the first time and being like, "Oh, it's really just like boxing." So, I mean, even though it's
Not
not,
much
there's
of a
different
difference.
to me personally, and I think because a lot of people say boxers have gone in there like Paul, and he's like, "Whoa, this isn't boxing, this is bare knuckle." So I do think there's some truth in that, but you just got to look at my background. Like I'm a street, I was on the streets fighting before I boxed, so to me, it's kind of naturally in there. So to me, I'm like, it's really just like boxing. Because I've been there on the streets before. We boxed without gloves before. But I think
Right.
as far as distance goes, yeah, I mean, I feel like really honestly that's why I believe in myself as a boxer when I go in there and fight other people that have MMA backgrounds, because I think ultimately boxing teaches you the right distance to be at to punch and cut angles and move.
Excellent. Now, this next question comes from a guy named Luis Montez, and he says, "Are you into small Puerto Ricans? He needs a woman who can stick up for him at a bar fight."
Eso. I love Puerto Ricans. Puerto
Uh,
Ricans. I love all people. So
there
I
you
like
go, Louis.
anybody. It doesn't matter if you're Puerto Rican, Caucasian, Alaskan. It doesn't matter. I love all people. So
He's
I'll
full of
stick up
shit.
for anyone if they need help.
He can stick up for himself. He's full of shit. He just wanted to shout out to you. John Naples wants to know if you're going to wear Paige's face as a mask. I guess he thinks you're going to skin her or something.
Oh yeah, creepy but funny. Maybe no, no. Honestly, I want to be Britton Hart. Like again, back to my original
Yeah,
thing that
fuck
I
her
said:
face.
advice to female fighters. Like, don't be like, oh, I want to be the next Ronda Rousey. I want to be the next Paige VanZant. No, you want to be the next you. Like, I'm the next Britton
Yeah,
Hart. I'm not. I'm better than that. I'm different. I'm unique. I'm my own person. So I'm gonna wear my face and love that and believe in myself that my face is going to be just as good as Paige VanZant plastered all over the place.
awesome. How did you get your start in bare knuckle, and what was your motivation? That comes from Ian. He knows that you came from regular boxing. So what motivated you to go over to bare knuckle?
Right. Well, they asked me if I wanted to find bare knuckle, and I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm gonna be unboxing. And then they hit me up again, and I was like, thanks for the opportunity. And like I said, I'm a nice person. Thanks for thinking of me. And then I was actually out in California training with knuckleheads boxing and MMA, and I loved it out there so much. It was amazing, and I really thought it was going to bring me to the next level in my boxing career. So then when they called me, and they kept up in it, and I was like, finally, I was like, you know what? I don't really care how much money you pay me. I'm not going to be murdered on TV. Like, I care more about my integrity and me being the best than I do that. And someone told me, they're like, Britton, I actually really think you can beat this girl. Like, she's just a name. Really,
Mhm.
you have what it takes to make it to the top. You just got to believe in yourself. So I let that, get in my head, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I kind of got the blessing from some certain people, and I found myself really asking and wondering more about it and thinking about it. And so once you think about something for more than a couple of days, you know that your heart, like, it's kind of in
Yeah,
your heart. That's what you want to do.
awesome. Um, Larry Davis asks, after you beat Paige, will your after party look more like a scene out of Wolf of Wall Street or a party at the Max on Saved by the Bell?
Um, man, I I need to know the differences in this party scene.
Oh, if you don't know the difference, okay, Wolf of Wall Street is about as raunchy, booze and drug infested fucking debauchery as you could find, and Max at on Saved by the Bell is more like a dance party with juice and soda.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I would rather go. I don't know. Damn it. That's a hard one. I'm gonna plead the fifth. Is that a thing?
Okay, yeah, you could do that. That's fine. I mean, if you say Wolf of Wall Street, you might be incriminating yourself.
I know, right?
All right. And the last one I got for you, this comes from Kaylee Adams. She says, "You are an accomplished fighter. You are also a beautiful woman. What could possibly make you not fear damaging your face?"
Oh, that was really sweet. Thank you. To me, it's like, look at it. You can do anything. You know how many people I know that walk into walls and have their face like cut open from walking into a corner of a door, or dealing with dogs, like, petting their dog and their dog bites them and they have these scars down their face, or getting in a car. Just think about it, guys. We get in a car every single day. You know how many car accidents there are? You just really cannot live your life in fear. Like, that's one thing I do not have. Like, sometimes it might be a bad thing, but I just lack having fear because anything can happen. And I live every day like the best I can and not being in fear, because if we live in fear, you're just really hindering your life and the possibilities of what you're capable of. And that's what I look at it as. If you get in a car, you're risking, hey, you're like, oh, I'm a great driver, I don't have to worry about it. But there's a lot of other people on the road that aren't great drivers that can cause you your life. And we still risk that every day. So I look at
Yep.
it in fighting when they tell me that, and she's saying right now that I'm beautiful, which is so sweet. But I believe it or not, I have 7 face lacerations and I have broken my nose 3 times and my teeth are wired in.
Oh,
so,
geez.
so I mean, I've paid my dues in this game, in this sport, and you're still looking at me as a beautiful woman. So what do I have to lose, right?
Yeah, that's a great answer too. Awesome, man. You're very awesome, and I cannot wait to watch this fight. I swear to God, your progression from one fight to another has gotten better and better and better. And Super Bowl weekend. What better way to start off your Super Bowl weekend before you watch some football on Sunday? You can watch some bare knuckle on Saturday. It's excellent. What do you have? What do you got to say to anybody out there watching? If it gets to Paige, what do you got something to say to Paige? I mean, feel free. Let it fly.
Oh, I know. Well, Paige, I'm glad that you stepped up to being fucking next. So you're more of a woman than I thought. So great job. So that's all I really got to say to her. So we'll now that we've agreed, we'll definitely leave it all in the ring February 5th. So it was just, it's too bad that she did accept the fight, because my birthday's February 2nd. So it's going to be like the biggest, best New Year's birthday, everything all in one. So excited for that. Super happy for the team that's behind me. I have an amazing team and support group behind me. So huge shout out to them. Um, Fusion CBD, Hit 5, Beelit Organics, Richie L. Tuck and Son Wood Products, Afton Service Center. I have Marcus Slugdown and Lux Boxing Gym. I have Haas and Chris J here with me at Knuckleheads Boxing MMA. Let's see who. Contenders Clothing, like I said, I already shut them out. They're always got my back. Women of the Carolina Fight Life, they always have my back. Veteran Farms, they've been huge for me. They've actually really helped me in this fight camp and made me be able to like focus on training for my fight camp. So I just really appreciate it. And anyone, who has a dream and believes in me and sees that, it's a powerful thing. And so just a huge thank you to them. Thank you for mission accomplished. I feel accomplished today. So we're setting goals and doing great things. So yeah, big, huge shout out to everybody that's supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to make you guys proud on February 5th.
Awesome. Well, you keep doing great things. Thank you. Thank you to Smith Brothers for having you on here. I really appreciate them. I appreciate you. And I wish you the best of luck February 5th. Go get that win and then go get that belt. Huh?
That's right. No luck. Best skill.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks.
All right. That was the bare knuckle babe, Britton Hart, who is on her way to fight in Paige 12 gauge Paige VanZant in her bare knuckle debut coming up very soon. I have a veteran guest tonight, but before I bring him on, I got to shout out my sponsors. I got Holden Hands Massage. They are a VA credited massage therapy play. I should probably get better at this, but she is an absolute wizard with her hands. Go see Jackie at Holden Hands Massage. The websites are at the bottom of the screen here. They will alleviate any pain you have. And also Keelfoot Clothing, veteran owned, bunch of veterans working there, American made products, awesome clothes, right up our alley. I'm going to go ahead and bring my boy, Captain Kirk Bailey. What up, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You look well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. You look great as well. I like that Sitco signed shirt you're wearing there. Yeah.
Always repping. Behind enemy lines down here.
Yeah, where are you at right now?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, is that where you're living?
Yeah, I bought a house here with the wife about 7 months ago.
Yeah. Does Jersey still smell like a stinky armpit, or is it cleaned up a little bit?
Dude, it's honestly, I enjoy it. I will tell you though that there's a few parts on 95 that you better have the windows up and better be circulating that internal air. It's all right.
Dude, it's good to see you. Now, this is an old friend of mine, Kirk Bailey, also an Army veteran. He did 2 tours, one in Balad, one in Mosul, achieved the rank of captain. Now, when you got out of the military, for everybody that's watching out there, what about your military time molded you to become the successful guy that you are today? Because I know that you're doing really big things.
Yeah.
What can you say?
I think that it's all about like having a plan, and then not being afraid when you know that plan goes to shit. Like you know that you at least got some discipline and some tenacity, and I think that anybody coming out of the military probably can relate to that. You always know how to prepare, you know how to have a plan, and when it goes to shit, you don't freak out. And, like it in the civilian world, I mean, you deal with a lot of people that get rattled pretty easily. A little bit of adversity, see some sweat, but that's.
I would think that it's a good idea. Like, I don't know, you know how we are. We think, and my dad and my brother have been preaching this for years. Is like they should make it mandatory. Everybody does 2 years of service out of high school just to get them ready for the real world.
Dude, I literally hear it from Dunk every time that I come home. The concept of service is lost on this generation.
I love Dunk, man. How's he doing?
No soap.
No soap. Can I tell that story? So back in the day, I called Kirk's house, and his old man Duncan is like the coolest dude in the world. And I say, "Hey, Dunk, is Kirk home?" He goes, "Kyle, he's not home right now, but let me check the answering machine." And I'm sitting there with like 30 seconds of silence. I'm waiting for him to get back on the phone. He gets back on the phone. He's like, "Hey, Kyle, no soap." I'm like, "What?" He goes, he says, "No soap on the answering machine." I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
Dude, I honestly, I think I got it out on the fucking counter right now.
Dude,
he literally sent this. He sent this bar of soap. I'm not trying to get you in trouble with any potential sponsors, but this pine tar soap he sent to Michael in San Diego. Mikey goes, "Dude, I could smell it from my mailbox." And he called Dunk and he was like, "Dunk, what is this?" And Dunk's like, "That is an artisan milled soap. And I'll tell you, you're going to smell like a pine tree for the entire office to enjoy come the holidays." So Mike wrapped it and sent it to me and called me when he got like the UPS note that they delivered it. He's like, "Tag, you're it." I was like,
"Oh, motherfucker." So somebody in the comments, Joe Ivy, says he has to be related to John Hamm, right?
Oh, dude, I wore that out about a decade ago. Don't tell my wife. But yeah, I got that a bit, especially when the hair was a little bit longer. Yeah, that was fun.
I'm sure it worked well for you. Carl Peterson says tougher than a boiled owl.
Another Dunkism referencing his drill sergeant when he was going to Fort Carson. Drill Sergeant Rivera, tougher than a boiled owl.
What the hell is that?
And I peeled that one back. Dude, I did something similar to this with Dunk where, Mike and I were talking. I realized I was like, dude, my parents aren't going to be around for forever. And this is pre-pandemic. So I drove up to Norwich and I bought them this book, just like asking them about who they were, where they were from, and just got a lot of good history on video, which I can't wait. I'm going to go back up and do it again. But yeah, I peeled back the onion on that one a bit. I asked him, I was like, where the fuck do you come up with tougher than a boiled owl? And he was like, well, it's a pretty well-known thing that owl, if boiled, is a very tough meat. And I was like, who knows this? Where is this printed in the code of man? But yeah.
Oh, dude, that's fucking great.
Yeah,
it's awesome, man. So you're a married man now. What do you got in the cup there?
A little bit of Angel's Envy out of Louisville. Small batch bourbon.
Bourbon? There you go.
Legit.
Are you thinking about having any children anytime soon with the wife?
Coincidentally enough, my friend, we are actually actively trying. So I will keep you posted on progress. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're stable, as stable as we can be. Bought a beautiful home here in New Milford, and yeah, can't wait to raise a couple terrors. By the way, how are yours? They look amazing. I mean,
I was just gonna killers. I'm gonna tell you, my two boys are absolute animals. I put a pull-up bar downstairs while Amy was deployed, and I was on my own raising these boys for a year. I turned this house into an absolute bachelor pad, right? So there was heavy bags hanging, there was kick bags in the dining room, there was a putting green in the living room, there was a fucking pull-up bar. I put a pull-up bar in the laundry doorway with the rock wall and the loops.
Yeah.
So now the only thing I've been able to hang on to in the time that Amy's been home and been turning this back into a real house is that pull-up bar. And my 6-year-old can do 19 pull-ups right now, start to finish.
God.
He could do one-hand pull-ups. He could do sets of like 8 to 10. Like this. He does the rock wall one-handers on the rock wall.
Yeah.
And, he's got little peaks on him at 6 years old. I don't know if that's okay that I'm letting him become this, but they're pretty awesome, dude.
Dude, you Mish's always had that wire strength, man. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. So you love being a dad.
Oh yeah, I was going to tell you, man. You need any advice on anything? You know who to call. I'm your guy. I'm like I don't know. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a fucking golden thing that I posted it on Facebook today.
Okay.
Get yourself a really good pizza cutter.
Okay.
You cut waffles, you cut pancakes, you cut French toast, you cut grilled cheese sandwiches, you cut French fries. Anything you fucking cut up into small pieces for your child to eat, fuck a knife, fuck a fork, hold that shit, roll it. Done. Done, son.
Taking it down.
Write it down. Write that down.
Pizza cutter wheel. All right. What's going on Amazon tonight?
All right. Ian Olson in the comments says, between Britton and Kirk, this is the most gorgeous lineup mission accomplishment it's ever had.
Oh, Ian, you absolute psychopath. Dude, who was that other dude that asked that girl that question about wearing Paige's face as a mask?
Dude, that's John Naples, and he actually was a professional MMA fighter. So,
like, holy shit, these people are a different breed. Yeah, way too pretty to get into a fight.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
Oh, good.
The two, not to like make it about their looks, but the two girls that are fighting in that Super Bowl weekend, Paige VanZant and Britton Hart, are absolutely beautiful women.
Yeah.
And they take the gloves off and hit each other with bare knuckles. It's just absolutely bananas.
What's the purse like on that fight?
I don't know. And I was going to ask that question, but I didn't know if I was stepping over any boundaries with her. So, I don't know if you noticed the color of the name tags down here, but I put the Hart Foundation colors. I forgot to point that out to her because her last name's Hart. It's fucking Some dumb shit. Anyways, so I am going to do a speed round with the one Kirk Bailey. I hope everybody's ready for this one because it's going to be a good one. First question. Snake Plissken versus Jack Burton. Who wins and how?
I gotta go Snake Plissken, and it involves some sort of accelerant, like a gasoline, and definitely something that comes off the wall and either makes a spark or gets involved with some electricity. But an accelerant is involved because Snake Plissken loves explosions and gasoline.
Nice answer. Hey, I got a person in the girl Monica in the comment section just educated us. Paige got $1 million for 4 fights. So I don't know what Britton's getting, but Paige is looking like $250,000 a fight for 4 fights. So
would you take 20 grand to get like bare knuckle, like three minute rounds?
I think so. For 20 grand, I think so. 20 grand's a lot of money to me. I don't know about it.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead with the ref.
Number 2. Is it ever okay to put ketchup on steak?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll ask you to leave my home.
Yes, I'm going to tell you right now, dude. This is a funny story. When we first bought this house, we invited Amy's mom over for dinner. I went to Westerly, the meat packing.
Westerly packing, yeah.
Yep, went to Westerly packing, and I got 3 really nice, thick New York strip steaks. Cooked them to perfection, medium rare, and we sit down at the table to eat dinner, and her mom says, yeah, where's the ketchup? And I was like, yeah, we don't do that in this house. She goes, well, I'm not going to eat it without ketchup. I was like, you are not putting ketchup on a steak in my house. I'm like, especially not that one. She fucking got up, walked to the fridge, got ketchup, came back, walked, and I'm like... Dude, she went home that night. And she now lives in my basement, by the way. She's probably going to watch this and know this. But she went home that night, and I said to my mom, I said to Amy, I was like, your mom will never eat another fucking steak in this house again. Not if I'm...
And dude, I'm a fucking ketchup fan. Like I don't fucking Heinz anymore. I'm on that Sir Kensington's, the jalapeno, low sugar, all natural. I love ketchup. Absolutely love ketchup. But most versatile condiment out there has got to be A1 steak sauce.
Yeah. Amy just commented, said Kyle has never cooked her a steak again. And that was 7 years ago.
I hope you take that grudge to the cross.
Dude.
I hope you're on your bed.
Oh, okay. Question: What is the craziest non-combat thing that you saw while on deployment? I know there's a lot of fucking funny, crazy shit happens over there. So
Sue sent me a bag of dried mangoes, like dried mango strips, and I was at the time I had gone from the snipers and I had taken my tank platoon, and my tank platoon we were coaching up an infantry company out of Alda Jail. And Alda Jail, like horrible history. Like this place, Saddam, after an attempt on his life in this town, like Saddam pretty much wiped out every military-aged male. So they were just getting back on their feet. They're building this infantry company. The captain of this infantry company was a badass. And he asked me during a meeting, he's like, hey, the guys, will you give them some of those mango strips? And I was like, yeah, fuck, here, have the fucking bag. It was like Costco, like a 3-pound bag of mango strips. So these guys are fucking slamming mango strips. We're planning for an operation that night. And I'm in the talk, like mapping this thing out with the captain and his XO, and like we're getting ready. And we're trying to get ready to stage to move at about 2030, like 2100, and we can't get these guys on the on the fucking vehicles because they're shitting their brains out. And
I knew it.
I'm talking an entire Iraqi infantry company that was literally like they had the water pails and like side of the road. Side of the building, they didn't have enough toilets for these guys. I've never seen an entire infantry company shit their pants. That was
Dude, I was waiting for the shit to come out. You know what? I asked another one of my friends. I was like, "What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you, non-combat on deployment?" He was like, "I shit my pants during a run." Like everything, always circles back to shit.
I'll give you one more non-combat,
Okay.
and I won't talk names. Bottom line, we're training in between my first and second tour. We're getting ready to go over new CO, trying to prove himself. We're downrange at Fort Carson. If you know anything about Colorado, like the downrange at Carson, the lightning risk is pretty severe. And training, like you just can't fucking train in lightning. It's a go. Range Control was getting in touch with me. I'm the XO at the time. And they're like, "Hey, Machine 5, you need to pull your guys the fuck out of there. Like, we have major storm cell coming through." I'm like, "All right." I go over to the CO. I'm like, "Hey, Machine 6, we got to go." And he's like, "No, fuck that. It ain't raining. We ain't training." I was like, "Okay, bro, your fucking career." Sure as shit, we've got this massive rock wall. It's this cliff, and there's a lightning rod on top of it. There's 2 hills, and I've pretty much convinced him and corralled all the fucking guys back to the OP that we're going to leave from. There's 1 squad and 1 platoon leader with that squad, and they're about a 400-meter run from me. I got to go up 2 hills, and I'm down into the second. I'm in between the first and the second. A lightning bolt slams into the lightning rod at the top of this cliff, talking probably 500 meters away, and I see 4 fingers of lightning go to the ground. One of them goes right in front of me. I crest the IV line, I come down over the back of it, and all of my guys in this, I mean, I've known these kids for fucking 2.5 years now. Most of them I've already done a deployment with. This lieutenant, brand new, and they're looking at me and they're like, "What the fuck is going on? What's the malfunction? We got to get back to the tracks. Let's get the fuck out of here." And my boy specialist Ramirez pulls me aside and he's like, "Sir, Lieutenant so-and-so just got struck by fucking lightning." And I'm like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "No." And like, I'm looking around and all my guys, they're looking at me. They're like, "Sir," and I look at the kid. He's got an Ash Wednesday smudge in between his eyes. He caught a fucking belt of lightning to the forehead. And I looked at him. Now look, dumbest son of a bitch that I'd ever met in the military. So this thing was only it wouldn't have hurt anything. But I looked at him and I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Dude, I'm fine. Let's go." But yeah, still craziest thing. Look, I personally did not see it, but these kids, like, just the look of, they were all ghost white. Like,
you saw the mark. So that kid was no Dunk Bailey, though. You know what I mean? Dunk would have got hit twice and been fine.
Dude, you say that. You remember the fucking hams from our neighborhood? Dude, them 2 dudes were never the same.
All right, next question. In a bar fight, you could choose one of the following to have your back. You picking John Rambo, John Matrix, or Frank Dukes?
Oh, man. Bar fight? I don't think Rambo fares well in a bar fight. And
no weapons.
Neo is not that Neo. John Matrix. Oh, sorry, John Matrix
from Commando.
Yeah, I got to go with and the Bloodsport. Fuck that. Like, he was a boxer, or he's a dancer. Yeah, I'm going John Matrix.
He's
a Team Bennett.
Let off some steam, Bennett. All right. Hey, what's a hobby of yours that nobody would ever expect? I'm interested to hear this. Other than fancy ketchups.
What the fuck have I been doing lately? That might shock a few people. I meditate now.
Really?
Dude, I read this book. 10% Happier.
10% Happier.
What is it? Dan Harris. He had an on-air like fucking meltdown. Like, he had a panic attack on air, like on ABC live news. Anyway, that book, you'll finish it in 2 weekends. It's worth a read. But yeah, I meditate now.
No shit. Yeah. All because you finally read a book. How about that?
Learned how to read. Thank you, Army.
Hey, that's, you know what? We had a guy in my first deployment that literally could not read, and we were like, "How the fuck did you get in the Army?" He could read, but he was like a 3rd grade reading level.
Yeah.
As like a 48-year-old dude. And you know what they did? They got hooked on phonics for him and taught him how to read, and he could read afterwards. Anyways, Rank these 3 rappers 1 to 3. Redman, DMX, Method Man.
Going 1 to 3 or 3 to 1? Going 3 to 1, I'll go Redman, DMX, Method Man.
Method Man being the best?
Yeah.
Attaboy. You know what? That one was tough for me. But I agree with you. DMX is number 2. Childhood TV crush.
I got to go Elizabeth Shue, Adventures in Babysitting Land. Ooh. That funky brunette from Weird Science. And then what's her name? Spano from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Oh man, and you got to see her naked in striptease later on, so that's a bonus.
We all knew she had it in her.
Yeah. Well, you know who mine was? Samantha Maselli from Who's the Boss. Good Lord. That was my girl. All right. Do you believe? Yeah. You know what? I'm not drinking right now. I'm doing a dry January, which is ridiculous. But you know, I'm doing these shows, and every one of my guests is like having a scotch or whatever, and I'm like,
sure.
Do you believe in any of the following, Kirk? Ghosts?
Yeah.
Aliens?
Yeah.
Bigfoot?
No.
Loch Ness Monster?
Nope.
Chupacabras?
Nope. But first 2, I definitely do believe in the paranormal. There is, look, there's just some video footage out there that's not doctored that you can't get a good explanation on. So sorry, I got to side with yeah. Plus, I do believe. Oh damn, Mike, man, giving you some shade.
Mike says that's dumb. What? Samantha Maselli's dumb? If he's saying Samantha, dude, I will fucking smack him. And
dude, we could do. I'll go 30 more minutes with you on aliens if you want. Yes. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what, dude? I believe in of all those things. I think I only believe in aliens. Honestly. Okay. Because honestly, if anybody truly believes that of the entire universe, this fucking planet, which is going to fucking hell right now, by the way, is the only one with intelligent life, then they're retarded. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, look, there are some people though that would argue the converse to that. That would say that the Big Bang, the creation of Earth, was such a small percentage that life as we know it on Earth could occur, survive, that the chances of this being duplicated is just as unlikely. So there's people that would argue the converse. I just happen to believe that, look, there's a government program out there right now that's being funded. The leader of Israel's NASA, literally, now look, he could be completely lost in his marbles. He came out and said that we know of them. We have a deal with them not to reveal themselves because people would lose their minds. Yep. That was really wild to
me. You could only choose one. Which one of these movies are you watching? Braveheart, Gladiator, 300. Braveheart. All day?
Braveheart, yeah.
All day. Here we go. And last one, kind of an easy, a more normal question. Sure. Best piece of advice you can give to a soldier separating from service, entering civilian world. What's your best piece of advice?
Go read Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. Promise you.
Extreme Ownership.
By Jocko. Yeah, do you know Jocko Willink?
Of course.
Okay. So that book right there will give you a distance and a direction, a task and a purpose, and above all else, it will make you understand that you and only you are responsible for your successes and failures in life. And I think that a lot of my guys that separated and did not do so successfully, it's because they didn't have a team leader or a squad leader giving them a boot in the ass at 4:30 in the morning to get up out of your rack and get ready for PT.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have that when you get into the civilian world, because employers are going to recognize it. It is going to be a force multiplier for you. So hone it, use it, and use it to your advantage. Read that book and own your success and failure. I think that's probably my best advice.
That's a smart man, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to his words, even though he didn't pick Samantha Maselli. Next next time bonus question. You said Jesse Spano. If you had the choice, okay, F, marry, kill. Okay. Spano, Kapowski, Turtle. Go.
Gotta marry Kapowski. You gotta kill Spano because she's too crazy, and F Turtle.
All right,
you don't need that type of crazy in your life.
Oh, and I've been asking the Cobra Kai question, and someone in the comments just said no Cobra Kai question. So here's the Cobra Kai question.
Haven't watched it yet. I'll be completely transparent with you. I won't bullshit you. I've yet to take it in.
Oh, okay. Well, the question is, are you team Johnny or team Daniel? And you'd be team Johnny. Trust me. Daniel's a turd.
Is he? They make him out to be a turd?
Yeah. You know that YouTube video that they made it look like Daniel was the bully and Johnny. So if I could describe Cobra Kai, they were attempting to make like I think they were going for like a Kenny Powers of karate with Johnny Lawrence, right? And Johnny is like this washed up drunk, and it's fucking hilarious. But he grows on you, and he opens Cobra Kai back up, and he tries to like turn it back around and turn it into like a legit thing instead of like a vile fucking dojo like it was back in the day. And Daniel is out to stop him. So it's kind of like Johnny's the good guy and Daniel's the turd in this one.
I like it. Dude, I walked past him in Manhattan probably it would be 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I walked past him on 2nd Avenue, like on 52nd and 2nd, where Candace and I were living. I walked past him. He's tall as fuck. Like
whom? Johnny or Macho?
No, Johnny. He's a huge human being. I almost got clipped by a taxi because I did the stop and like I did the double take. And he saw me turn around and he was like chuckling. But I saw him in Manhattan. I think that's in my time in Manhattan, 5+ years, I saw 3 celebrities. I saw Stern, I saw Johnny, and I saw Anthony Bourdain. Sorry. Yeah.
And if you would have ran into David Portnoy at a pizza joint, would have been better than all of them.
Dude, Stooley from 2009 on. Yeah. Absolutely cannot say enough about the boys over there. I mean, too cool, man. We've hung out with them. I've hung out with Clance in Hoboken. I've hung out with Nate and the rest of them. Feats in Manhattan, like when they moved down here, they couldn't be bad. What they're doing for small businesses right now is absolutely
amazing. Yeah,
I get choked up watching these people, like that are honored enough to be recipients of that fortune. But I mean, shit, they topped 20 million today?
Did they?
I think so. They were at 18 like 3 days ago.
That's freaking incredible. Well, El Prez for Prez, you know what I'm saying? El Prez in 2024.
Now I'm going Tulsi or Jocko. Either I want a Tulsi or Jocko with Prez on the VP ticket.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, hey, I'm going to let you go. But next time you come up to New England and get somewhere close to the Connecticut, Westerly, Rhode Island area, you golfing these days?
Dude, let's play. Oh yeah. Let's get to Norwich. Let's tee it high. Let's let it fly.
Hell yeah, dude. Hit me up. Stay in touch. And thank you very much for coming on, being my veteran guest tonight. I love talking to you, buddy. It's been a long time.
This is awesome. I can't tell you how proud I am of you for doing this. It's awesome. It's a great use of your talents, God-given, and I'm happy to see you doing this. This is really cool.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. It's a passion of mine. And you know what, man? I took a shot. And you know what? And like I've said this in past episodes, the pandemic was a shit show and it was rough on a lot of people. But what it did is it let me sit at home, spend a lot of time with Amy and the kids, and like figure out what the hell what do I want to do with myself. I know a lot of things. I could do a lot of things, and I don't fucking do anything. You know what I'm saying? I go to work every day. I come home and I was just like, you know what? And I was doing this podcast with Bob Beauvais. This guy got me in podcasting, and he was like pushing me to do this. And I took the shot. I reached out to a bunch of fighters and promoters and managers, and like people are willing to come talk.
That's great.
It's working out great. So thank you for, supporting me on that.
A pleasure. I don't have anything to plug, and I'm happy for that. But yeah, give my best to Amy and the boys, and I will look you up next time when the weather warms up a little bit. We'll get up to NPC.
Hell yeah, buddy. And same, I'll tell Amy and the kids, but you also have to tell Dunk and Mike that I said what's up.
You bet, bud. You bet.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. Have a good night. Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.
That was Captain Kirk Bailey. Little treat from Norwich. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, paying attention to an absolute savage, an absolute beauty. Britton Hart, February 5th. Paige VanZant is her opponent. Paige VanZant's debut fight in BKFC. That is big, big news. She is she's a huge name, and everybody knows Paige from UFC, from Dancing with the Stars, Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition, like all that stuff. Britton Hart is about as game as an opponent as she's going to find in her debut, and she better be prepared for that because Britton is getting better and better every single fight, and it is going to be one hell of a show. And if you haven't picked up BKTV, the app, the BKFC app, go ahead and get that. I think it's $3.99 a month, and you get access to all their fights and their pay-per-views and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure it's $3.99. I could be off on that a little bit. But either way, it's a good investment for any combat sport fan. Go check her out. Check that out on Super Bowl weekend. and tune back in next Wednesday. I got Lorenzo Hunt, BKFC fighter. And I just found out a couple hours ago that I'm going to have another BKFC fighter next Thursday. So back-to-back nights again next week. Wednesday, Lorenzo Hunt, Smith Brothers Combat Zone, Lorenzo Hunt. And then Thursday, I'm going to have Brandon Lambert. He was in the chat room here when I was talking to Tyler Goodjohn. He wants to fight Tyler. He just picked himself up a fight. Shame on me for not knowing his opponent off the top of my head because it's brand new. I think they announced it today. But Wednesday, Lorenzo Hunt. Thursday, Brandon Lambert. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you guys for the support. Have a good night. See you next week.